Welcome to the April '89 edition of Directions, AT&T's all-employee video magazine. Coming up, we'll hear the company's response to a share-owner proposal on affirmative action. We'll see why Greyhound chose AT&T for its new ticketing system. We'll see how Operator Services is helping to sell customers on staying with AT&T for their Bell Company public payphones. And we'll follow a team of AT&T engineers to Armenia as they help get the telephone system back on its feet days after the earthquake. This is Directions, AT&T's video magazine. AT&T has a long-established record as a leader in advancing minorities in business. Despite the decrease in the overall number of employees since divestiture, the representation of minorities has remained relatively stable, and in middle and upper management, it has actually increased. This good record is due to continuing corporate policy and an affirmative action program that backs up that policy. But right now, there's a challenge to AT&T's affirmative action program. A group has included a proposal in this year's proxy statement that would phase out those aspects of AT&T's affirmative action program which are directed towards recruiting employees or promoting individuals from any particular racial or ethnic group. In the proxy, the board of directors make their position absolutely clear. AT&T's management abhors this proposal. The proposal, with different supporting information, first came up at last year's annual meeting in Denver. It was sponsored by a member of the National Alliance, which has been described as a white supremacist organization.
There is no equality. And the idea that you can take someone and give them on-the-job training for so many months or years, that still will not surpass a person of higher intelligence.
AT&T employees took to the picket line outside the meeting hall to make their voices heard.
Racism must go! We say vote no!
The employees absolutely rejected the assertion by the National Alliance, and it was really a very interesting and warming thing to be a part of, because outside the hall you had members of the CWA picketing the very notion of what was suggested in the proposal, but inside, in a very spontaneous way, when this came to the floor, let me tell you what happened. You had people who had lived in the Bell system and AT&T for a lifetime stepping up to give their own personal testimony about the meaning of affirmative action to them. One after another, young men, young women, older folks came to the microphone, and they described what it had meant to be a part of the evolution of affirmative action in the business.
Bob Allen also made a special statement to the press that day.
Especially objectionable is the argument that some of our employees, because of their race, are less qualified than others. That kind of thinking is wrong, it's divisive, and it has absolutely no place in the managing of AT&T.
Despite the share owners' defeat of the proposal last year, the proposal has resurfaced this year. The company attempted but failed to get SEC approval to drop it from the proxy statement. But the company's commitment to affirmative action remains unchanged.
The company's position, number one, is that we shouldn't even have that issue in the proxy. Number two, that we find it repulsive that we have to deal with this kind of a position because we are totally opposed to it. You know, we believe very much in the diversity of our workforce. We have found, what strength comes from that. We believe in it, and anyone that challenges that is something that we soundly oppose. But the other issue that is really a driver here is that as you look out not very far into the future and you look at our labor market in the United States, you realize that that market is going to be composed of more women and more minorities, and that you have to reach into that market in a very important way to bring very good talent into your workforce. It's a business issue to be on the leading edge of that change and to get the best people into your business.
At a press conference held at its Dallas terminal, Greyhound Vice Chairman Craig Lynch ushered in a new era for Greyhound with some important help from AT&T.
This is a day of celebration for AT&T and Greyhound lines. Today we celebrate the new technology embraced at Greyhound. We're pleased to have high technology experts like AT&T help us rebuild our business by bringing us into the high-tech arena.
Welcome to Gateway, our revolutionary new computerized ticketing system. Now, for the first time in travel history, Greyhound lines and Trailways lines are linked with AT&T, Gateway ticketing systems, and Boca printers to bring you the fastest, most accurate, most state-of-the-art route and fare information available anywhere. The Gateway system is a national network of AT&T computers that gives our ticket agents all over America, from major metropolises to small towns, instant access to the information they need to answer your questions and issue your tickets, quickly and conveniently, no matter where you want to go.
Getting a piece of Greyhound's business culminated in a $4 million sale of 750 PCs and printers and a National Sales Vice President Award for Data Sales Executive Tim Stanley.
Right, the PCs arrived on time. The PC marketplace is pretty crowded. There are several vendors of PC equipment, and quickly price becomes an issue. But in differentiating ourselves from those other vendors, I think Greyhound quickly began to see the added value that an AT&T can bring to the table.
Kim Matthews, the national account manager on Greyhound, worked closely with Tim and his team to win the business from some very tough competition.
Leading Edge had initially won the business. Greyhound had verbally awarded the contract to them, and we were able to go back in through our DSG folks in Des Moines and Dallas here and basically prove that the AT&T maintenance solution was superior and therefore worth the extra dollars.
The Gateway ticketing system includes an AT&T 6300 workgroup system computer running software designed by Gateway Ticketing Systems, an AT&T printer, and a Boca ticket printer. Greyhound chose AT&T because it could provide nationwide service, not only for AT&T equipment, but for the entire system. With AT&T as its single point of contact for maintenance and troubleshooting, Greyhound was free to concentrate on its business.
I suppose the biggest impact has been the speed of the Gateway system over the old IBM POS system. It's tremendously faster.
For Tim Stanley, the significance of the sale goes beyond great products and service.
It's significant because we are showing one of our national account customers that we are indeed a player in the marketplace. And I don't think anymore just a Me Too vendor. I think we are quickly becoming a strategic partner in Greyhound's long-term planning. And that's a nice position to finally be in.
We have new computers in our telephone information centers that allow our people to give more accurate information and to give it faster. Now we're installing Gateway, our automated ticketing system that operates on AT&T computers and AT&T networks all across the country. This system improves ticketing time by about 400% because it eliminates ticket agents looking up schedules and looking up fares manually. We believe in the bus business. We believe it is a viable mode of transportation and that we can make it work. We are rebuilding the company for the future. Ladies and gentlemen, the bus is back.
Used to be that every 0+ long-distance call from a Bell Company public payphone was automatically routed to AT&T.
Thank you for using AT&T.
But Equal Access is changing all that. U.S. District Judge Harold Green has ordered that owners of hotels, airport terminals, restaurants, and all other locations where Bell Company public payphones are installed must choose the long-distance carrier for those phones. There's over $1 billion in revenue at stake here, and AT&T is working hard to retain as much of this business as possible. But it also presents a daunting sales challenge. How do you contact hundreds of thousands of premise owners, most of whom will be choosing a long-distance company for their public payphones within a 90-day period, and remind them of the value of staying with AT&T? One answer was to call out the sales force, including BMG and Consumer Markets public sales force, and back them up with a strong direct mail campaign and aggressive telemarketing, courtesy of American Transtech. But there was another not-so-obvious answer. Train volunteers from Operator Services as a special sales force to assist in the Equal Access campaign.
Hi, this is Randy Honecker. I'm with AT&T, and I'm calling concerning your pay station.
Randy Honecker is one of nearly 400 operators and former operators who took positions as pre-subscription consultants, or PCs. All of them bring a ready knowledge of long-distance services to the job. Some have sales experience, some don't.
I was nervous. It was like, you have to make a sell over the phone, but once you got over, you're not making a sell over the phone, you're just trying to get an interview. After the first time, it was easy.
Despite the challenges of sales work, employees like Randy Honecker were quick to volunteer.
I think AT&T is going into a customer-oriented direction. They are going to need more people in the marketplace, and I feel that this job will give me an idea of what it's like in the marketing department. Then when it's done, we'll do it.
That's right.
Randy Honecker works out of an office in downtown Columbus and covers customers in eastern Ohio. This morning, he's on his way to the headquarters of Fiesta Hair Salons. Fiesta runs a chain of salons in 6 states, and every location has a payphone.
We're trying to educate the customer, and through the education process of explaining, what equal access is with public payphones, we're trying to keep them to stay with AT&T.
Hi. Morning.
This is a follow-up meeting with Carol Forsyth, who makes all telecommunications decisions for Fiesta.
She had heard from several other companies and, wanted to know what was going on out in the market. In the face-to-face meeting, you can ease their mind. You can answer their questions.
Now, one of the things I'm looking at, Randy, is privately owned payphone equipment, which of course would involve changing from a semi-public line to a co-cut line. Will we need to do anything special with the arrangements that I'd be making with you?
We have one of the sheets, one of the attachments is for the privately owned payphone. So, no, there'd be nothing we would have to change with those.
That's good.
Looks like you got a stack of ballots over there now.
I do. Okay.
Randy's strategy is to remind the premise owner that 3 out of 4 people chose AT&T for their business and residence phones, and they're likely to be looking for AT&T at public payphones.
When I originally went in, I thought they had 25 to 30 phones. Once I got in there and seen the stack of ballots she had, they had over 200 locations, and each location has a payphone. One of the PCs have signed Wendy's. We've had just a recent account signed with Red Roof Inn. So we're talking a lot of payphones.
As the deadline for balloting approaches, AT&T is continuing its efforts to sign up premises owners, thanks to the hard work of Operator Services and the rest of the sales force. There's also something you can do when you make long-distance calls away from home or office. Look for signs at public payphone locations. If you don't see AT&T, listen for the operator or recorded message to identify the company. If you haven't reached AT&T, hang up and dial AT&T's away-from-home access code, 10-ATT-O. Then the area code and the number you're calling. If you still don't hear AT&T, ask the owner or operator how to reach us.
Thank you for using AT&T.
That way you know you're getting AT&T's prices and quality, and you'll be keeping your business with AT&T. December 7th, 1988. The most powerful earthquake in 1,000 years strikes the Soviet Republic of Armenia. 55,000 people have lost their lives. 500,000 more are homeless. Lenina-Khan, its second largest city, lies in ruins. The rescue effort is hampered because the city's telephone switching equipment and cable lie broken in the rubble. Within days, the Soviet government accepts AT&T's offer, the loan of a mobile PRXA telephone exchange. It's an analog switch compatible with the destroyed system that must be replaced. In Amsterdam, the exchange is quickly prepared for its flight to Armenia. Accompanying it aboard the Soviet transport plane are 3 technicians from AT&T Network Systems International. One technician is Italian, the other 2 are Dutch. Their job will be to get the exchange up and running in the hard-hit city of Lenina-Khan.
Hey, you guys go inside? Yes. Let's start work.
In the next 4 weeks, they hope to reconnect up to 3,000 subscribers.
Is open?
So when we arrived here, we had to find out self all the problems. For example, cables, where they were laying, which cables were destroyed. So the first day, it took a lot of time for us to find out such an information. But it was not also the cables, but when you installed an exchange, doesn't matter where, well, you will also need some information about signalation, the ways they transmit all those data to another exchange. Well, that was rather difficult for us.
When we came here, we saw a complete Moscow crew, and why that? Well, it was a terrible experience for us, because we figured out the whole crew of Lenina-Khan was died, except 2 men. From the 42 people of the telecommunication crew for Lenina-Khan, 40 were died in the main building. So, no maps, no schematics, no diagram, nothing was available. And the Moscow crew, which were sitting here, they have the same problems.
Aldo, maybe you explain while you're working what you're doing.
Yes, I try to make something with this cable. I call salami.
Aldo explained how he prepares the cable that will eventually reconnect Lenina-Khan subscribers to the outside world. The problem is that they are currently connected to exchange number 7, a severely damaged office located 3 miles away in the heart of the devastated area. Before service can be restored, a cable must be laid through the damaged streets from the existing office to the AT&T switch, and at the moment, that's just not possible. Aldo, Dick, and Jack stay in a camper that was flown in from Amsterdam along with the switch.
What do you have? Well, not bad,
okay.
not bad.
Okay. I put here?
Yeah.
Okay. So, close the door.
So, was it good today? Not very busy.
Make spaghetti maybe.
No, not only spaghetti.
Spaghetti. Forget it, spaghetti.
Not frozen the water, Dick?
No. I shouldn't take too much water. We don't have enough water today, so we are, well, we try to be a little bit careful with water. We can't wash. You cannot refresh yourself. It's nothing to do. You can't.
Yes,
you cannot shave. You cannot clean yourself. Okay. But what I say, well, the exchange is working. That's, I think, for us is the most important thing now.
Morning. Yes, he's still sleeping.
Real Dutch coffee.
Thank you, Dick.
Oh boy, it's empty already.
I want to eat.
Sorry.
Yes, no.
Sorry, no food left.
No. It's too late for breakfast.
Well, today it's nice weather. We went out for a walk. A little bit sightseeing, but...
They decide to visit the damaged office that the new exchange will replace. It's 3 miles away through a city in ruins.
Skezan torgen surpopuit, ažem je mištjeva vitjana sabdjenic Amerika.
They come to a devastated school building.
This shocked me the most of all. When we drive through Leningrad, we see some clocks standing, and they were all about 11:45. So at that time it happened during the middle of the day. So normal working hours, schools were normal running, everybody was doing normal things. Everybody was working, school. Well, it was not during the night, eh? And here you can see so obvious. They were just writing on the board, they were studying with a teacher, and then suddenly, out. Suddenly it was over.
У нас была координатная система. Это уже начальник Леноганского производственного объединения связи Мануген Генрих Иванович.
It's very difficult to repair it or to modernize. Well, there's only one thing: throw it away, build a new one. It goes quicker and it's cheaper, I think.
But you can understand now the problems.
Yeah, well.
There will be no maps, no circuit diagrams of how it is, how it is fixed, how it is mounted, which cable are going to what.
It's difficult.
Well, so they can't, they cannot give us some connection to the exchange.
Well, you can also see it on here. For example, here is written something on it, but for here, well, which cable is connected here? I don't know.
Seeing all the problems here, we have here an exchange, but we don't have subscribers on the exchange. It's such a crazy thing. We don't have cables where subscribers are connected to. We have no cables at all. We have nothing. Just a working exchange. It doesn't go so quick. What people thought in Holland, well, we put the exchange there, and within a couple of days we can establish more or less normal telecommunication. But it's not the way it works here. It goes slower. It goes slower. So next week we are going home, leaving behind the working exchange with no subscribers. And that's a little strange feeling for me. I'm satisfied from a technical point of view. I'm not satisfied from a human point of view.